The courtroom battle between HYBE and Kakao over the SM Entertainment takeover is heating up again, and this time the spotlight is squarely on Bang Si-hyuk, HYBE's chairman and also known as Hitman Bang. Because after months of speculation, the Korean court has officially summoned Bang Si-hyuk to testify in the trial over Kakao's alleged stock manipulation. So the question is, what really happened behind closed doors between Bang Si-hyuk and Kim Beom-su of Kakao? So in this video, we'll break down what this could mean for the case. And mainly, we will talk about this exclusive article released on today, on May 13th, titled Court Summons Bang Si-hyuk as Witness. Will details of HYBE and Kakao's SM Entertainment takeover talks finally be revealed? But as always, I will talk about and translate some extra articles from the past to give you more context. Okay, so let's start here. Court summons Bang Si-hyuk as witness. Will details of HYBE and Kakao's SM Entertainment takeover talks finally be revealed? By reporter Park Dong-hwan. And here's a summary. A South Korean court has formally summoned HYBE Chairman Bang Si-hyuk to testify as a witness in the ongoing trial over alleged capital markets law violations by former and current Kakao executives, with prosecutors arguing that Bang Si-hyuk and Kakao founder Kim Beom-su held key discussions during the heated battle for control of SM Entertainment in 2023. All eyes are now on whether Bang Si-hyuk will take the stand and break his silence. According to legal sources, on the 13th, Seoul Southern District Court's Criminal Division 15 presiding judge Yang Hwan-sung recently approved Bang Si-hyuk as a witness and issued a summons. Unless he provides a valid reason to decline, Bang Si-hyuk is expected to appear at the court's witness examination scheduled for June 20th. June 20th. Prosecutors say it's essential to scrutinize what exactly was discussed between Bang and Kim during the takeover talks. They allege that on February 14th, 2023, Bang met with Kim to discuss SM Entertainment's acquisition. According to the prosecution, Bang Si-hyuk urged Kim Beom-su to refrain from pursuing the takeover, but Kim proceeded to reject HYBE's proposal and moved forward with Kakao's own acquisition plans. Prosecutors have previously described Bang Si-hyuk as a key witness in the case, stating during an earlier trial session that the meeting between Chairman Bang and Chairman Kim is a crucial point in this case, and requested his testimony. And I'm going to talk about that further when I discuss this article from November of 2024. Okay. They also noted that HYBE, under Bang Si-hyuk's leadership, filed a petition with the Financial Supervisory Service, FSS, accusing Kakao of blocking HYBE's tender offer by aggressively buying SM shares. And that was from 2023, February. Despite this, the meeting between Bang Si-hyuk and Kim and any discussions about the SM takeover between HYBE and Kakao have yet to be fully investigated, prosecutors said. Initially, the court had no plans to summon Bang Si-hyuk, but after HYBE CEO Lee Jae-sang, previously approved as a witness, failed to appear, the court decided that Bang Si-hyuk's direct testimony was necessary. And I'm going to talk about that directly after this article. Kakao stands accused of manipulating SM stock price by propping it above HYBE's tender offer price of 120,000 Korean won in February 2023, allegedly to derail HYBE's takeover attempt. And let me show you Kakao's stock price for context. All right, here's a 5-year chart. 2023 February is around, not Kakao, sorry. SM Entertainment. That's the stock that we're talking about. Here we go, 5-year chart. All right, 2023, February, right there. Okay, February, March. After HYBE's tender offer failed, Kakao and its subsidiary, Kakao Entertainment, secured a controlling stake in SM, becoming its largest shareholder. As of 2024 June, this is the shareholder structure for SM Entertainment. HYBE later filed a formal complaint with the FSS, claiming Kakao's stock purchases were abnormal and should be investigated. The FSS forwarded the case to prosecutors, who indicted Kim Beom-su and other top Kakao executives on charges of stock price manipulation. Okay, so that was the article, and as I showed you already, here is a summary. Court has summoned Bang Si-hyuk to testify in the trial of Kakao's current and former executives accused of stock manipulation of SM Entertainment. The case centers on Kakao alleged interference in HYBE's attempt to take over SM in early 2023. Prosecutors, 검찰, claimed that Bang Si-hyuk met Kim Beom-su of Kakao on February 14, 2023 and asked him not to pursue SM acquisition. I'll show you the timeline at the end of this video. Despite the meeting, Kakao allegedly pushed it ahead, blocking HYBE's tender offer by propping up SM share price above the offer price of 120,000 Korean won. And Kakao later became SM's largest shareholder by acquiring a controlling stake together with Kakao Entertainment. HYBE filed a complaint with the FSS accusing Kakao of abnormal stock purchases and price manipulation. Prosecutors see Bang Si-hyuk as a key witness who could confirm what was really discussed between him and Kim Beom-su during the SM takeover talks. The court initially didn't plan to summon Bang, but changed course after Lee Jae-sang, HYBE's current CEO, failed to appear as a witness. So let's talk about Lee Jae-sang. And for those of you who forgot what he looks like, HYBE Lee Jae-sang. This is what he looks like. Okay. The previous CEO was Park Ji-won, but last year, 2024, it changed to Lee Jae-sang. All right. So, here was an article released by Bloomberg just a month ago, April 17th. It says, HYBE CEO Lee Jae-sang, known as Bang Si-hyuk's close aide, fails to appear at Kakao stock manipulation trial. Okay? HYBE CEO Lee Jae-sang has declined to appear as a witness in Kakao's ongoing trial over alleged stock manipulation related to SM takeover, citing a business trip to the US. Prosecutors had planned to call both HYBE Chairman Bang Si-hyuk and CEO Lee Jae-sang to testify about the intense acquisition battle with Kakao in early 2023. With concerns mounting over the trial's prolonged timeline, which began in November 2023, the court is now reconsidering whether to continue summoning HYBE's key executives. According to reporting by Bloomberg, this media agency, Lee Jae-sang submitted a notice of non-attendance ahead of the hearing originally set for the 18th of this month, meaning April 18th, explaining he had prior commitments in the US, probably related to HYBE America stuff, right? Or business connections meetings in the US regarding, the US business. As a result, the session has been downgraded from a full hearing to a pre-trial conference, as the absence of the key witness makes it difficult to proceed with critical cross-examinations. Lee Jae-sang is widely seen as one of Bang Si-hyuk's closest confidants, having played a central role in HYBE's growth since its day as Big Hit Entertainment. At the time of the SM takeover battle, Lee Jae-sang was serving as HYBE's Chief Strategy Officer, CSO. Prosecutors argue Kakao artificially inflated SM stock price above 120,000 Korean won to block HYBE's tender offer, a move that triggered HYBE's formal complaint to the Financial Supervisory Service and led to the current trial. Earlier in the proceedings, HYBE CFO Lee Kyung-jun testified that Kakao's aggressive stock purchases had caused HYBE's attempt to secure management control of SM to fail. And right after this article, I'll show you in detail what CFO said during the trial specifically. Looking ahead, the trial is likely to proceed without further testimony from HYBE officials. At the most recent hearing on the 11th, the court indicated it would make one final request for Lee's appearance, but would cancel his witness status if attendance appeared unlikely. If there's no possibility of him appearing, we will cancel the summons and move forward with the remaining procedures, including the questioning of the defendants, the judge stated. Attorneys for Bae Jae-hyun, Kakao's former head of investments and one of the defendants, also questioned whether Lee's absence was truly due to scheduling conflicts or reluctance to testify, and suggested the court revise the witness list for smoother proceedings. Interesting. Prosecutors, meanwhile, will also need to reconsider their plan to call Bang Si-hyuk as a witness. They had argued that Kim Beom-su, Kakao's founder, solidified his decision to acquire SM after directly meeting with Bang. However, Kim's legal team has firmly denied this, and the court has said it currently has no intention of summoning Bang. The court had planned to revisit the issue only after hearing Lee's testimony, should it deem further witness examination necessary. And mind you, this was an article from last month, and the court changed course, right? And now decided to summon Bang Si-hyuk to trial as witness. All right, so here's a summary of the article that we just read. So Lee Jae-sang, HYBE CEO, has declined to appear as a witness, citing a business trip to the U.S., and prosecutors, 검찰, have planned to question both Lee and Hitman Bang over Kakao's alleged manipulation of SM Entertainment stock during the 2023 takeover battle. Now, Lee Jae-sang's absence has disrupted key witness questioning, forcing the court to downgrade the upcoming hearing to a pre-trial conference. So the court is now likely to proceed without further witness testimony from HYBE executives unless Lee unexpectedly agrees to appear. And then, as you know, with the article that was released today, the court changed its mind and decided to summon him and Bang to the trial, right? Prosecutors also sought to call Bang as a witness, arguing he met with Kakao's founder Kim Beom-su. Now, so let's talk about CFO Lee Kyung-jun in terms of what he testified during the court back in February of last year. Okay, so this is an article in question released by Shisa Journal. Okay, the title goes: HYBE CFO Lee Kyung-jun testifies HYBE's failed SM takeover was due to Kakao stock manipulation. So far, he was the HYBE executive who spoke about this issue at trial, while Bang Si-hyuk and Lee Jae-sang declined to appear, right? So here's an article. HYBE CFO Lee Kyung-jun testified in court that Kakao's large-scale stock purchases, which he describes as manipulative, were the key reason HYBE failed in its bid to acquire management control of SM Entertainment. Lee appeared as a prosecution witness in the trial of Bae Jae-hyun, Kakao's former head of investments, who has been indicted for alleged stock price manipulation. Lee Kyung-jun also pushed back against claims from Bae's legal team that HYBE, alongside former SM executive producer Lee So-man, had acted as a hostile takeover force. Lee Kyung-jun countered that HYBE's actions were part of a legitimate tender offer process aimed at acquiring management control, not a hostile M&A attempt. On May 1st of 2024, the Seoul Southern District Court held the third hearing in Kakao's trial over alleged violations of capital markets law. Lee Kyung-jun, who led at HYBE's SM acquisition project, took the stand as a key witness for the prosecution. And if I remember correctly, Lee Kyung-jun is still the CFO of HYBE. All right, there you go. According to the indictment, Bae and others allegedly worked with private equity firm One Asia Partners and invested over 240 billion Korean won to manipulate SM stock price above HYBE's tender offer price during the heated takeover battle in February 2023. Prosecutors claim Kakao's top executives, including founder Kim Beom-su, Bae, Kakao Entertainment co-CEOs Kim Sung-soo and Lee Jin-soo, and Kakao Entertainment's head of investment strategy Lee Jun-ho, were involved. They also allegedly failed to meet the legal requirement to report when their holdings exceeded 5% of SM shares, as mandated by capital markets law. During the hearing, prosecutors asked Lee Kyung-jun what he believed caused the failure of HYBE's tender offer. He responded, I believe the stock price going above 128,000 Korean won on February 28, 2023 was a key reason. Based on stock trends, there was a sharp increase on February 16th. February 16th of 2023. Yep, there you go. Right here. Followed by a temporary stabilization, which led us to suspect large-scale stock purchases on that day. Without those purchases, we believe the tender offer would have likely succeeded. That's why we filed a complaint with the financial authorities. HYBE launched its tender offer for SM shares from February 10th to March 1st, offering 120,000 Korean won per share, which was significantly higher than the prevailing market price of around 90,000 Korean won. The aim was to attract existing shareholders to sell at a premium. But on February 15th, SM stock price exceeded 120,000 and soared to 130,000 Korean won the next day. Whoop. Right there. By February 28th, the final effective day of the tender offer, SM shares closed at 127,600 Korean won, effectively blocking HYBE's takeover attempt. When prosecutors asked about HYBE's expected strategic gains from acquiring SM, Lee Kyung-jun clarified, our goal wasn't short-term profit. It was to combine SM's unique IP with HYBE's global network to elevate K-pop into a truly global genre. We had a plan to boost SM's annual profit from 200 billion Korean won to nearly 300 billion Korean won within 3 to 5 years. Interesting perspective? Losing the chance to implement this plan was a significant internal disappointment, he said during the trial. When questioned by Kakao's Bez, in defense about HYBE's relationship with Lee Soo-man, Lee Kyung-jun dismissed the notion that HYBE had become involved in a management dispute orchestrated by Lee Soo-man. We weren't participating in a dispute. We were pursuing a legitimate acquisition. Kakao, on the other hand, said they had no interest in management control, so it's not accurate to say we intensified a management battle, he said. We didn't join forces with Lee Soo-man. We bought his shares because we wanted to acquire SM, while Kakao never presented itself as aiming for management control. Okay, so that's what Lee Kyung-jun, the CFO of HYBE, said as witness 2 years ago. 2024, February of 2024. So, to summarize, here we go. I think you can read. He appeared as a key witness in the trial of Bae Jae-hyun, Kakao's former head of investments, who was accused of stock manipulation. Prosecutors allege Kakao conspired with private equity firm One Asia Partners to spend over 240 billion Korean won to push SM stock price above HYBE's tender offer price. Which prevented HYBE from acquiring SM, right? And then the stock price skyrocketed. Lee Kyung-jun emphasized that HYBE's goal was not short-term profit, but to integrate SM's IP with HYBE's global network to grow K-pop globally and double SM profits within 3 to 5 years. Whether that could have happened if HYBE had acquired SM, who knows? Nobody knows, but that was their plan according to CFO Lee Kyung-jun. He also rejected claims that HYBE acted as a partner of a hostile M&A attempt with Lee Soo-man, SM Lee Soo-man. He has been doing his own thing lately, right? But yeah. Insisting HYBE's actions were part of a legitimate acquisition effort, while Kakao never formally declared intentions to seek management control. Prosecutors also accused Kakao executives of violating disclosure laws by failing to report their large stock purchases when surpassing the 5% threshold. And because HYBE's attempt to acquire SM failed due to the stock price manipulation, alleged manipulation, as we discussed earlier, HYBE submitted a complaint to Financial Service, FSS, right? Supervisory Service for investigation. Now, the question is, prosecutors believe or argue that Kim Beom-su of Kakao made an order of boosting SM stock price by very hostile purchases so that they could succeed in acquiring SM. But the question is whether he really made such order, right? So here's an article from 2024 November titled "All Eyes on Bang Si-hyuk as Kakao's Kim Beom-su trial enters new phase." And I think this is a nice article to tie back to today's article that says that the court, talk about why court wants Bang Si-hyuk to speak as a witness, because he might have crucial information to provide. All right, so let me briefly read you this article from November of 2024. The high-profile trial of Kim Beom-su, Kakao's co-chair of the corporate alignment commitment over alleged stock price manipulation, has taken a new turn after Kim was recently released on bail. Now, attention is shifting to whether HYBE Chairman Bang Si-hyuk will be called to testify. According to legal sources, prosecutors formally submitted a statement to the Seoul Southern District Court on April 29th, requesting Bang Si-hyuk's testimony. During the trial, where was it? Not April, but October 29th. Requesting Bang's testimony. During the third hearing the following day, prosecutors argued that Bang Si-hyuk, as a person who filed the official complaint to the Financial Supervisory Service, that was quite a tongue twister, FSS, accusing Kakao of obstructing HYBE's tender offer, is a key figure whose direct testimony is necessary. All right, so yeah, you might ask, all right, why does the court want Bang Si-hyuk to speak so bad? This article talks about that. During the third hearing the following day, prosecutors argued, I just read that, prosecutors emphasized that no formal investigation has been conducted into what was discussed during a private meeting between Bang Si-hyuk and Kim Beom-su on February 14th, 2023, just one day before Kim allegedly instructed his team to peacefully bring over SM. 평화적으로 가져와라. So that's the phrase in question. Okay, he allegedly instructed his team, Kakao team, to peacefully bring over SM Entertainment at an internal Kakao investment meeting. The prosecution believes this meeting was pivotal and may have influenced Kim's stance. So that meeting took place on February 14, 2003, and Bang Si-hyuk met Kim Beom-su the day before, February 13th, 2023. That's why the court wants Bang Si-hyuk. Prosecutors claim that after HYBE's talks with Kakao to jointly acquire SM collapsed, Bang Si-hyuk met Kim Beom-su and asked for Kakao's cooperation in HYBE's bid to take over SM. But Kakao reportedly avoided giving any direct response. Therefore, prosecutors insist that Bang Si-hyuk's testimony is crucial to clarify what was actually discussed at that meeting and whether it impacted Kakao's subsequent actions. Bang Si-hyuk, however, has so far refused to respond to the prosecution's request for a witness interview, according to a source familiar with the matter. So that was his stance up till now. Kakao's side rejects the prosecution's narrative, arguing that Kim's message to his team during the February 15 meeting was simply to avoid conflict with HYBE and pursue peaceful negotiations. They also claimed Kim Beom-su even proposed that Kakao's entertainment chief Kim Sung-soo meet with Bang Joon-hyuk, chairman of Netmarble, which is also no relative of Bang Si-hyuk and HYBE's second largest shareholder, though that meeting was ultimately canceled due to scheduling issues. Kakao's defense team has firmly opposed Bang Si-hyuk's appearance as a witness, arguing it would infringe upon the defendant's right to a fair trial. So that means Kakao didn't want Bang Si-hyuk to appear as a witness. For now, the court is taking a cautious approach, stating it will continue reviewing the prosecution's request and carefully evaluate whether Bang Si-hyuk's testimony is essential to the core issues of the trial. So again, that was an article from last year. And again, according to the article, exclusive article released today, the court now wants Bang Si-hyuk. All right. So here's a summary of the article that we just read. I don't think I need to read over the whole thing. But the question is, what did Bang Si-hyuk discuss with Kim Beom-su? The day before, Kim Beom-su of Kakao had a meeting with his own team where he said, peacefully bring over SM. And what does that phrase even mean? Who knows? Maybe Bang Si-hyuk will shed some light upon that if he were to appear at court. So it seems like the court now wants Bang Si-hyuk to appear, and the prosecutors, the prosecution, has wanted Bang Si-hyuk to appear as a witness, whereas Kakao didn't want him to speak, and Bang Si-hyuk himself has declined to appear. So we'll have to see whether he will actually appear at court to talk about these issues. So here are some key players that I have organized. Bang Si-hyuk is being summoned, right? He's a HYBE chairman, has been formally summoned by a Seoul court to testify in the ongoing trial against Kakao executives over stock manipulation of SM Entertainment by Kakao, alleged stock manipulation during the 2023 takeover battle. And the key meeting under examination is that prosecutors argued that Bang Si-hyuk and Kim Beom-su had a critical private meeting on February 14th. Okay, that's what we just discussed. Meanwhile, HYBE's current CEO, Lee Jae-sang, skipped court, right? Failed to appear as a witness, citing a U.S. business trip. While CFO Lee Kyung-jun has testified before at court, saying that Kakao's large-scale and manipulated stock purchases essentially prevented HYBE from taking over SM. And there's a dispute over words. Key argument in court is over Kim Beom-su's phrase, peacefully bring over SM. Prosecutors interpret it as his order to block HYBE quietly, while Kakao insists that it meant to seek peaceful negotiation. And Bang Si-hyuk's role is still uncertain. Prosecutors has been pushing to summon Bang Si-hyuk to clarify what was discussed with Kim, but Kakao's side is strongly opposing this, claiming it infringes on the defendant's rights and is not relevant. And here's a timeline because this issue could get some confusing, and I'm gonna wrap up this video. 2003, between February 10th and March 1st, that's when HYBE launched a public tender offer to acquire SM Entertainment shares at 120,000 Korean won per share. February 14th, Bang Si-hyuk and Kakao Kim Beom-su held a private meeting. February 15th, the day after, Bang Si-hyuk's meeting, Kim allegedly told Kakao executives to peacefully bring over SM at an internal investment meeting. Now, between February 16th and 28th, SM stock skyrocketed above HYBE's offer price, right, peaking at 130,000 Korean won. Therefore, HYBE's takeover failed, thank God. 2023 March, HYBE filed a complaint with the FSS accusing Kakao of stock manipulation. November, prosecutors indicted Kim Beom-su and Kakao executives for stock manipulation and reporting violations. Now, next year, 2004, February 1st, HYBE CFO Lee Kyung-jun testified, blaming Kakao's large-scale stock purchases for HYBE's failed SM acquisition. April 17th, 2025, let's fast forward, HYBE CEO Lee Jae-sang declined to appear in court, citing a business trip to U.S. And now, today, May 13th, court formally summons Bang Si-hyuk to testify as a key witness following Lee Jae-sang's absence. Unless he provides a valid reason, Bang Si-hyuk is expected to appear. So, June 20th, that's when Bang Si-hyuk is expected to testify at Seoul Southern District Court. We'll have to see whether that will actually happen. Okay, so there you go. I hope that you found this informative. If there's anything that I missed, please feel free to fill in the gaps. If there's anything I was wrong about, please tell me. And what do you think actually happened? And do you think Bang Si-hyuk will actually appear at court? We'll have to see. Feel free to share your opinions. But as always, when you do decide to comment, let's stay positive, respectful, and classy. Thank you guys. Peace.